And Lucas, want to give you a chance to expand, and then we can wrap back to Brad as well before we reveal the one seeds. Gonzaga seems to be one of the most interesting case studies in college basketball right now because of some of the metrics versus the actual results on the court. What are your thoughts on the Zags as of right now and kind of where they stand in this picture, Lucas?
Your guess is as good as mine right now. I mean, they have such an interesting profile that makes it almost impossible to figure out. They're 46th on average across resume metrics. That barely puts them in the field if it does. If you're looking at just pure resume metrics across the board, and they're top 15 in all three quality metrics. As Brad indicated, they don't have many wins over the field. They're 6-8 against the upper two quadrants. They're a team that's likely to be underseeded based on their quality metrics and what they are basically projected to be able to do, but they haven't actually done any of that to this point. So I think you're going to see them very commonly slotted around a 9-10 seed line right now, despite having the quality per BPI Ken Pom and T rank of a top 4 seed.
Yeah, it's just such a weird dynamic to see a team 14 on T rank, 10 in the net, all the metrics seemingly checking out at a lot of spots. But talking about an 8, 9, or 10 seed right now, Brad, is that kind of the way you're seeing the situation up in Spokane?
Yeah, I have them currently as a number 9 seed. And like Lucas said, if they end up as a 9 or a 10 seed, they're going to be favored. If they're a 10 or even an 11 seed, they're going to be favored in their first round NCAA tournament game. So it's going to be one of those like, oh, everybody's picking Gonzaga. Well, Gonzaga is going to be the better team based on predictive metrics, their Ken Poms, their BPIs, their Torvik rank. One other thing about Gonzaga, strength of record of 51, KPI of 40. Last year, the team with the worst average of those two was to get in that large bid was Michigan State, which was about 47.5, depending on when the season ended. So right now, Gonzaga is right in that range, slightly better, but they have to they got to win games. I mean, they still have some more games they have to play that aren't necessarily going to improve their stock. But another loss or two, and things really start to get interesting.
Yeah, I mean, as an exercise, if Gonzaga was to slip to the 10 seed line, even they wouldn't just be favorites in the first round; they'd be favorites over half the 2 seeds.
Great point.
Straight using metrics, like they're a higher rated metrics team across BPI, Ken Pom, and T rank, which most people would use as favorites or underdogs for betting purposes. They would be ahead of Wisconsin, Michigan State, Texas A&M. They'd all be ranked higher.
And obviously, it goes without saying, Mark Few's had a great run of success. I think it's like 8 straight Sweet 16s or something for Gonzaga. So even if they are in that seed line that wanes to the 10 range, you could be favorites in back-to-back matchups with a chance to make that another Sweet 16 appearance in Spokane. So interested to see how all that shakes out, to say the least, in one of the more interesting case studies we've seen in recent years. Let's take a look.